Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, where I'm showcasing my art process as well as yapping about different topics. It's time to grab your drinks and let's get started. I may sound a little more excited than usual because I really am. And that is because I'm gonna work on a very special illustration today. And as you can see, I have really prepared a lot for this one. And I'm gonna put my all artistic arsenal to use in this one. And the reason is because I'm making a birthday gift for a very special person in my life who also happens to be the hidden hero of this channel, who is to be thanked for this channel to be existing in the first place, but also a lot of behind the scenes and the video editing and everything, and all the special technical parts that are not visible for you guys who are watching this, but a very important job to be done. So as you can see, the plank and the pressure is high. So I really took my time to prepare this gift for her, and I really hope that she will like it a lot because I'm making her into a Lyria character. Yay! So I have this king, if I may call it that. I really like to make a personalized gift, and it really takes me a lot of effort and mental energy and preparation and research and all of that. So yeah, this is something that I cannot afford to do for everyone, but only very special limited number of people, because honestly, if I start doing this kind of gifts for everyone, this will kind of lose its purpose and some value. And also for me as a creator, if it turns into something mass produced, it will also lose a lot of fun to make. In the beginning, you have seen the glimpse of my preparation sketches, and that is usually how I start working on such gifts and projects. It is making a research, and in this case, if I wanted to make a character out of a real person, I really wanted to be relatable to the person that I'm getting inspired off of. So for a research like that, I would need to either have like a social media profile or a couple of photographs for a reference, because for instance, I'm doing a lot of sketches just to capture some of the features. Even though they're heavily stylized, I still kind of want to make artistic decisions on shapes and color palette, stuff like that, And since we're making a character in a specific setting, that is Lyria world, I also wanted to find a perfect match, because I have like 7 nations that represent different styles and different cultures that are also inspired off of the real world that we are living in. I was kind of thinking for a while which nation would fit Yara's character best, because for that I either go with the real person's origin or something that they carry within themselves, so like an inner vibe, if that makes sense. And if I were to go with the real origin, I would probably make her into Scientian, which is a snow leopard, because Scientians are partially living in the mountains, but also a big part of the nation lives around the same mountain in desert. And my friend Yara, she comes from a Middle East part of the world, so I thought it would be appropriate. But then I was kind of thinking of the vibe that I catch from her when we are talking in real life and when we're hanging out and blah blah blah, But then I started thinking a little more deeper, and how she's thinking and what opinion she has and what believes and the way she's talking and behaving, things like that. I thought that she would be more fitting into Sensivian's nation. This is a nation that is a lemur born. They're living in a greener areas, and they are mostly inspired off of Buddhism lifestyle and culture and the religion and stuff like that. They're these chill people that are absorbing wisdom from nature and are living in a balance with world, and they're more about like this spiritual and wisdom pursuit. And since Yara is a introverted person and very wise and smart, I kind of thought that this is more appropriate for her character. So I ended up making her character into a very interesting type of monk that is teaching about dancing with the resonance and harmony. Since Lyria is all about music and vibes and resonance, I thought it would be cool if she would be famous for dancing, because in real life she also happens to be a nice dancing coach. and I kinda tied together the dancing part, the monk part, and the spirits part, and as a result had a very interesting type of a spiritual teacher for Lyria. If I end up interesting her enough to play the game that I'm making, there is a lot of space to improvise and also customize the spiritual abilities for her, because I think it's a very beautiful concept that could be a great inspiration for a lot of nice artworks. One of the biggest idea givers was actually Chinese dancing. Like when I was looking for references and inspiration, I found a lot of nice arts and photos and videos of Chinese dancers. They are so beautiful in their flowy dresses and those shawls and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, that's definitely something that I'm gonna use for this character. And I also happen to know that Yara likes tulips. And this little detail about Yara gave me an idea on how her outfit could look like. It had to be very light and flowy and silky, and also the shape should resemble, or at least a little bit remind about the tulips. I made it multi-layered, so when I imagined her dancing, she would turn and all the different layers would flow on different levels. It would be beautiful. For the color palette, I did some of the research as well. I was scrolling through photos and her Instagram. There is a lot of photographs of her being on events and wearing nice dresses and makeup, and one of my personal favorites was when she was wearing something pink, and I decided to go with that. I didn't want it to be very saturated, so I went with very neutral pink and lavender colors, but honestly I think any color palette would fit. I guess in this part is just my little personal preference that went into account, and if I would ask directly I would probably ruin the surprise, so I just decided to go with my gut here, and honestly it ended up looking very soft and silky as I intended it to be. And when I'm making a character, it means that I need to make some background details. So I wrote a little backstory, some of the character's strength, very shortly, not to dive too much deep into game mechanics. Just to give a glimpse of what a tabletop roleplay gaming is like, or at least the character creation part. And I thought that it would be such a waste if I didn't decorate it with some stickers and washi tapes. As someone who has a huge collections of random artistic shit in their studio, I just dug into my many boxes and found just perfect stickers for this. Yeah, baby, that's ADHD and a tiny bit of special interests from autism. I kind of start to embrace that part of me. If it wasn't the case, the end result would look much more boring, I guess. And that is how I create the characters. Honestly, I don't know if I can dive deeper into details on how I create characters than this. So I hope it was helpful to whoever is struggling with character creation for their own art projects or books or stories or whatever. And also, I hope that you understand now how deeply addictive this is for me because of how much fun is actually happening behind the scenes. Honestly, I just genuinely enjoy throwing all of my thoughts and ideas and concepts and stuff like this into a multi-cooker named artistic brain. And see all this nice smelling hot buns coming out of it. I thank you for joining my art process as well as my yapping. Hope you had a nice time. And by the way, if you want to support this channel, you can leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel, and check out my other social media linked down in the description. The usual social media stuff. And for now, have a fantastic day, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!